Good evening, fellow Democrats. How are we doing tonight? That's Betty. Sam was a good friend, and we miss him dearly. And I couldn't think of somebody who was more befitting to win that award. I'll tell you, Helen Gordon Davis, Senator Davis, was a treasure. When I ran the first time back in 1997, they said, well, you have to go meet with Senator Davis. So we went to the Valencia Gardens, if you remember that place. And I sat down and I figured, okay, she's gonna fill me up with some wisdom. And she said, you need to lose weight. And I still do. Point of personal privilege, I want to introduce my daughter, Elin, if she'll stand up, please. Thank you. It's my date for tonight. Our little one was 6, so my wife stayed home. If you know Elin at all, she comes to a lot of these events with me. She works the room better than I do. Somebody once told me that she's either going to be president of the United States or head of the mafia. Luckily, Donald Trump proved that you can be both. So, I am not Congressman Maxwell Frost, but I am frosting my hair these days. So, here we go. Now, I apologize in advance if they play the music, I might dance, but I'm not going to leave because they gave me the mic. And I haven't given a good pregame speech in a while, okay? And Kobe Matthews is in the back, one of my former players. He's the biggest guy in the room, so they may have to enlist him to come up here. Probably because I made him run sprints a long time ago. So, I've been given the unenviable task to provide the ask here this evening. So I don't know who I made mad. Thank you for that. Or perhaps it's because I know what all of your home values are. I'm not really sure. But in all seriousness, as I reflected on this and with what I was going to share with you this evening, with any of all our political gatherings, we have somebody that has to come forward and do this tonight and ask, and Mark's already done that, to reach down and pick up a pen. You have an envelope there on your desk or your table. There's a QR code with a smartphone, and ask you to give of your personal treasure, or continue to, for a common goal. But it seems to me that the ask is more than that. And so, if you will indulge me, I thought I would take a few moments to just talk a little bit about the ask and what I believe that it is, because it's certainly a lot more than just writing a check. I think you know that a big part of my background is as a football coach, and so I've attended a lot of pep rallies over the course of time. And one thing I know for sure, the game or the war is not won at the pep rally with the cheerleaders and with the band, nor is it won here in the banquet hall, although the chicken was wonderful. The game is won on the field, right? It's on the battlefield. And those battles lie ahead of us, as we know. And it's about having the right soldiers and having the leaders and having the right candidates, the kind of folks that are in the room here today, having a plan, executing that plan, and having the resources to prevail in the end. So the ask is not just about what we've been saying here tonight or how great it is to be in a room filled with Democrats, because God knows it feels good. Susan, I know we had to, I know what it's like for you to have to sit in a room full of Republicans all the time. Somebody said, what's it like to sit in the back of the room? I said, I don't know, I was so honored to be there. They could have put me in a lawn chair and I'd have been happy just to be there. So, but you have a tough job to do. The ask is really more about what we're going to do once we leave here tonight. The ask is, what are we going to do over the next 13 months or so to ensure that we do everything possible to win in November? The ask is what we ask of ourselves, our time, our belief, our passion, and of course our treasure. Mark, I was going to make sure I put that in there. It's also what we ask of each other. It's knowing that every day we've done something to ensure victory in the end. It's asking our friends and our neighbors, Democrats, independents, and right-minded Republicans, and there are a few, very few, to support our Democratic candidates and provide them, more importantly, and this is important, I'll stop on this, we have to provide them with the reasons why. Unfortunately, we have to remind them. It's asking them why in the world they could ever support a party or a candidate that wants to roll back women's rights, the rights of workers to organize, civil rights, the right to love whomever you want. Why would anyone support somebody that wants to take away Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security? Rick Scott. Why would we support someone who believes that January 6th, I swear I talked to some people, I think they think that it was a 5th grade field trip that just got out of hand. Or entertain some cockamamie conspiracy theory, we hear them all the time, just because it props up their misguided allegiance to a particular candidate or to their party. A party that strayed from the Constitution of the United States and our state as well. Why would anyone support a party that believes it's okay to remove duly elected officials simply for ideological reasons or to make political points? Why would somebody support a party that wants to privatize public education, hijack our universities, and even more dangerously turn them into ideological factories to produce folks that only think the way they do? That sounds like Nazi Germany to me. It's not what we believe in this room. It's not what we believe in this county and the state, and I believe in this nation. So I asked you, do you want to ensure that our constitutional officers, Nancy Milan, Cindy Stewart, Greg Latimer, like myself, to continue our distinguished service for this county? I ask you, do you want our county commission not to lose any more seats? In fact, win back the majority so they can fund the arts and not cut affordable housing as they did last week on the wrong party lines. Do we want Benjamin Driscoll and Senator Darrell Person and Susan to continue to have more help so they can continue to fight in Tallahassee? Do we want to get rid of Rick Scott finally? Becky, let's find somebody to get rid of Rick Scott. Do we want to ensure that Joe Biden, Kamala Harris finish the job that they've been doing for the last 4 years? Personally, I don't give a shit if he's 200 years old. I'm sorry. And finally, do we want to, if he chooses to return Andrew Warren to the state attorney's office so he can protect all? So the ask is big. It's important. In fact, it's imperative. We were knocked down in 2022. We're facing some headways today. But as an old ball coach once told me, if you can look up, you can get up. And things are looking up for the Democratic Party. We're on the rise. The blue wave is coming again. It won't be easy. Nothing worthwhile ever is. So I ask you to stand up. Stand up. Stand up. We just all lay, let's stand up. Stand with me, with the other party leaders in this room. Stand with the elected officials in this room and the ones that aren't here. Stand with our candidates. Stand with our party. Stand for our county. Stand for our state. Stand for our country. Can we do that? Can you do that with me? Because if you say it, if you stand up, because if we don't stand for something, then like the Republican Party, we'll fall for anything. Thank you for your time. I appreciate the opportunity to see you. Don't forget to donate a few additional dollars, whatever you can afford. Give of your time. Remember that the ask is much bigger than just that. And I have the honor of introducing Susan Smith, the founder of our state progressive caucus. I believe the president of our progressive PAC, a good friend of this county, a good friend of the Democratic Party. It's my honor now to bring her to the stage. Thank you so much this evening. Have safe travels home.